So, yet another episode of my new channel, Thinkaboutit. I was just watching the video BMF, the story about Big Meech and the Black Mafia family, and it made me think about some things. Number one, who decided that drugs were illegal? I was thinking about that, like who and why. I'm sure if I did some research, Wikipedia, Google, all that bullshit, I could easily find out who and their definition of why, but truthfully why. Because see, this is my thing. There are people in the world who their whole intent is to help their family, to have some money, to make themselves feel better, whatever. I want to live like a celebrity for a little while. Whatever their reason is, they're making money off of drugs. And we have this connotation in America that drugs are bad, and it's kind of like, why? Because I decided to do the drugs. Like, that's what it comes down to. The person who bought them decided to do drugs. So why is it that our society says that we're going to force you not to? That's wrong. I don't totally understand that. You're ruining a person's life who has basically become a self-made man based off of your decision that drugs are bad. Not my decision, your decision. I didn't ever tell you, hey, if somebody sells me marijuana, make sure you take them to jail. You decided that. So why? Another thing, drugs are the thing that is considered bad but usually makes you feel good, and people go to jail for it. Yet doctors who are selling drugs that usually don't make you feel any type of way, unless it's like morphine or something like that, and they usually have bad effects. Like, for example, a friend of mine the other day, when she wasn't feeling too well, she called me up and was like, hey, I need to go to the hospital. I'm not feeling good. I think my knee might be broken or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but we went to the hospital, and the doctor asked her if she took any medicine. And she said, yes, I took 4 Tylenol. And the doctor tripped. I mean, like, her facial expression was priceless, because she was like, what? You took how many? You took 4 Tylenols? You can't be taking more than what's prescribed. You're going to ruin your kidneys. So Tylenol, I can pay $2-3 for. I can buy anywhere. Quick Trip, Walgreens, every single store, everywhere sells Tylenol. I take more than is prescribed to make myself feel better because I'm in pain. And you telling me that I'm probably going to have negative effects. Yet drugs, which yes, most of them do have negative effects, make me feel better now, and it's wrong. It's a very interesting concept. Also, the whole concept of, we have decided that these are the drugs that you are allowed to do, or this is the type of entertainment you are allowed to have, but this is not. So if you want to smoke cigarettes all day long till your lungs turn black and your heart stops beating. Smoke cigarettes till you get cancer, and now you gotta sit up in the hospital for weeks at a time. Drink until your family is poor and you become an alcoholic and gotta spend money to go to AA meetings and throw up all your liver. But don't smoke marijuana. Don't do crack. Don't do all that other stuff. Now, I'm not saying I support drugs, because I don't do drugs. It's not my thing. I like to drink, but that's about it. And only socially. I'm not really into that stuff, but I also don't think that it makes much sense, because it's like, man, they just, you ruining a person's quality of life because they sold drugs. And it's kind of like, wow. We vote to see if drugs can be legalized. Everybody been talking about legalizing weed for forever. All the good things we can do with weed. why we voting to legalize it, but when did we vote to make it illegal in the first place? Who decided this? I don't really understand. Like, some of these ideas about drugs just don't make sense to me, and it's not really because I'm sitting here like, I don't feel that there's anything wrong with drugs, and I don't have any friends or family that died because of drugs. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you're ruining a person's life because they sold it, and I never decided it was bad in the first place. When a person goes to jail for murdering somebody, that makes sense. You took somebody's life that you did not decide that. You don't have the ability to decide that. Who are you to decide that? Only nature, fate, and God should be deciding if a person lives or dies. So that makes sense. If you run a red light, you're endangering other people's lives. If you had, non-consensual sex with an underage girl, that makes sense. If you tried to, you threw a pipe bomb at a parade because you thought it was funny. You lit off fireworks in a, very large community. These types of things make sense. I can understand you're endangering other people. You're endangering other people's quality of life. When I do drugs, I'm endangering my quality of life. And I decided that. Didn't nobody come up to me and say, hey, put this needle in your arm or I'm going to shoot you and give me $5 for it. Like, no, that's not what happened. Yes, it's extremely addictive, but most things in life are addictive because we trying to find something to latch onto that makes us feel better. So to ruin a person's life because of that I just think it's messed up. I just think it doesn't make any sense. We as a people kind of need to ask more questions, I think, and get a little bit more information. Cause most people, if you say, why don't you like drugs? They might not have an answer outside of, I did drugs one time and it was a bad experience. You don't even know why you agreeing with it. Truthfully, you really don't know. You see on the news, so-and-so got sent to jail for having so many of whatever in their house. You supporting it. You like, yeah, drugs are bad. They shouldn't be on our streets. And it's crazy. Cause, the only thing I can think of is you like, I got a child. I got a teenager. I got a daughter. I got a son. I got a niece. I got a nephew, grandkids that I don't want to be involved in drugs. Sorry, but every single person got to make that decision for themselves. Because the truth is, every single person they send to jail, it's another person going to come up that's going to keep selling it. And every single person that don't do it is somebody else that will. And just because you didn't do it then, don't mean they won't do it later. So you trying to hide your kids from all of that, don't do nothing. Half the time, most of these people be like, oh yeah, my kids go to college, I know they're going to do crazy stuff. Why is it accepted in college? Okay, this is a short period of time in your life, that's fine. Go crazy. Most of these people out here, you paying for your kids to go to spring break. Hey mom, me and my friends want to go to Mexico for a week for spring break. Lie and say you don't know what goes on down there. You paid for the ticket. You paid for the hotel. You gave them some money for their left. Lie and say you don't know what's going on down there. That's what I thought. So just things to think about.